Hi guys, and welcome to part number 3 of this scraping real estate website tutorial. So first, let me just actually remove this mistake here. I have step number 10 and then I have step number 9. This actually does not make sense. So let me just replace number 10 with 9 and vice versa. And now this makes more sense, okay? And actually step number 11, and why did I not provide this information when I've prepared this notebook? I don't know, but it's actually not a big deal. So for now, I also want to output everything inside the PostgreSQL database. Okay, and this is actually our step number 11. All right, so PostgreSQL or PostgreSQL, okay, like this. Now let's go ahead and find the logic behind the request, because now we want to scrape data from multiple pages. Again, we need to start here and we need to observe carefully the request of this page here, okay? And here, for example, I've done this already previously. And for example, here we have the current page, okay? And here we have number 1. That means this information shows us that this request belongs to the first page. So what would make most sense? Let's say we want to replace number 1 with number 2. That means most likely we get the results of the second page. Let's replace number 1 with number 9. That means most likely we get the result of the page number 9. But now let's say we want to scrape 50 pages, okay? That means we need to create a for loop, and then we need to think about an iteration variable and replace this value here with our iteration variable, okay? And then we are able to scrape multiple pages. So for now, I will just copy this request, copy this one, go back all the way until you have this step number 9. Okay, paste it here. And now let's just remove number 1. Okay, and before I start, actually I need to provide a for loop. So for I in range, okay, we start with number 1 and we go until number 51, because now 51 is actually excluded. Okay, we will get back the results from page number 1 until page number 50, and make sure you have intended everything properly. And since this right now is our iteration variable, we have to put it here. Okay, remember we had a 1 a few seconds ago. I've just removed it, and now I want to put down this iteration variable. But don't forget, the format has to be the same, otherwise it will break. And we want to cast it inside an string element, okay? This is actually it. This is right now our logic. Now we have replaced number 1. This was a string element. And this iteration variable is actually the replacement of this previously data. So we had number 1. And we have casted it inside this string function, okay? And this is actually it. This is the logic, how to get access to multiple pages, at least for this specific website. So this is why I always tell you, take please your time, try to understand all these parameters, okay? And take a look, try it out, go ahead and also fail sometimes. But it's very important to get a feeling how this website, how the API, how the request is working, how it's structured, okay? And now we just can go ahead and proceed. This is our first for loop, okay? And for each and every of these 50 pages, we need to create or send a request, okay? Store it inside the response variable. Then for all 50 pages, we have to create JSON objects, okay? Result items where we have stored all results of one specific page, and then we again have to loop through each and every result, okay? But actually we have done already almost everything. that means we just need to, or we can reuse our previously written code, okay? And this is actually the, let's say, the beautiful part of the pagination part. So every time you work with multiple pages, you can almost use or reuse 80% of your previously written code when you have worked with one page, okay? And this is actually the beauty about it. So here we have our response. Then we need to create the JSON object, okay? Let me just scroll up and let's see where we have done this. It was inside this cell. Copy this one, go back all the way down, paste it here. Then we have the result items. Okay, scroll all the way up. Our result items are here. Okay, this is our starting point, the result items. Copy this one, go back down, paste it here. And now, in the next step, we need to write again our for loops. One for loop, which is this one. Okay, this is it. I want to copy everything, go back down, and here I want to paste it, and make sure you have taken care of the indentation. So it's here. Highlight it, shift. Okay, now we have two for loops. And before we run the cell, we actually need again to provide the empty lists here, okay? Copy this one, go back down, paste it here. Now we have all our 7 empty lists. We have the for loop to navigate from page number 1 to page number 50 by using this range function and this iteration variable. And we have used this iteration variable inside this string function because we want to cast it as a string, because the previous format was also a string, okay, like this for example here. Okay, we need to maintain this format. Then once we have navigated successfully to a certain page, we need to create a request, store it inside this response variable. Then we need to create one JSON object, okay, and the JSON object is actually the basis of finding our results, okay, and this is why we have reused the result items. And then once we get all our results for one page, we need again to loop through each and every result and append the appropriate data points, which are this 7, okay, this 7 data points we want to extract. We need to append everything inside these lists, which are in the beginning empty. Okay, this is the logic right now. Actually, this is almost just the same what we have done previously, with the exception that now we're dealing with multiple pages. This is it. Okay, so I would say let's run the cell and let's see what happens. Okay, now it's loading. And every time you work with the Jupyter Notebook and you see this star here, that means it's loading. Okay, if you see, for example, a number, that means the loading process is over. Either it was successful or you have an error message. This is it. Now actually I can pause the video. Maybe it takes a few. Okay, now it's fine. It's done. Let's take a look. We don't have an error message. This is very good right now. And in the next step, what we want to do is we want to copy this part here, okay? So in the previous video, we have created the data frame. We can just reuse this code. So I'll copy this one, go back down, create one new cell, paste your previous cell here. Okay, again, we have the df_realtor, data frame realtor, and here we have created the data frame, which is actually part of the pandas library, and PD is the abbreviation for pandas. Okay, so here, and then we want to append inside this dictionary our data. Okay, here we have a key, and the value is actually the newly created list. Okay, and this applies for all 7 data points: address, bedrooms, bathrooms, agent name, area code, telephone, and price. Okay, now let's run the cell. no error message, this is fine. And now let's output this data frame. And voila, this looks actually very good. Okay, we can make a cross check. Again, for every page we have 12 results. We want to extract 50 pages. That means 50 times 12 equals 600. Okay, and this is what we want to have. Okay guys, so this is your data. This is your data. Let's go ahead and print everything out or output it in the Excel. So it's df realtor to underscore Excel. Let's use the name realtor underscore, let's say multiple underscore pages dot xlsx, because this is the extension for Excel, and the index is false. Okay, that's it. Let's run this cell. Okay, no error message. This is fine. Let's open up the folder where your notebook is stored. For me, it's this one. And I want to open up this file because this is what I've actually created a few moments ago. Double click on this one. Okay, and guys, this is actually your data. Okay, this is it. Alright, so now again we have our 50 pages, or the results of 50 pages, which are all in all 600 items. Okay, that's it. This makes sense. This is it, guys. So I can just save it. And our last part is to print out everything inside. Sorry, these are old files. Okay, the latest one. Okay, it was this one. Okay, here we had again cross-check our 600 rows, right? Let's take a look. Yep, makes sense. Let's just close it. And in the next step, we need to output the same results inside the PostgreSQL database. So for me, now it looks like this. I've actually installed everything here. And if you have, for example, questions regarding the installation process and so on, please let me know. And then I will try to help you out. But for now, this is actually not a SQL course, not a Postgres course. I just want to show you quickly how to output our data inside the Postgres database in the exact same way we have output actually our data inside the Excel file. This is it. So for now, you see that if I click on tables, we just have one table. It's cast result, but it has nothing to do with our real estate result. And I also can refresh this tables, and you see here, this is the only table we have right now. Okay, so this is our starting point. And again, if you're asking yourself why we have this pgadmin is actually the interface for the Postgres database. Okay, this is it. So now let's go ahead and create the database here. Okay, and first of all, we need to import the SQL Alchemy library. Okay, that means here I need to import the SQL Alchemy. Okay, let's run this cell. And actually, if you don't have this on your computer, you need to open up your command prompt and type in pip install SQL Alchemy. Okay, run this cell. Run this command. And for me, it's requirement already satisfied. I mean, it's actually there for me. But if you don't have it, the installation process will begin for you. And then you can easily import this library. Okay, let's scroll down again. And now in the next step, what we need to do is we need to create an SQL Alchemy Engine. Okay, this looks fine. Next, engine is our variable. Okay, now we need to start with SQL Alchemy dot engine. Okay, and in the next, is it create engine or engine? So let me just make sure it's create engine. Sorry, my mistake. Here we have the engine variable. Then we have the SQL Alchemy package, and this is actually its function. Okay, so create engine. And now what I want to write down is Postgres, okay? Then we have a colon, // then Postgres again. And now it's asking us actually for the password. And for simplicity reasons, because I actually also teach it, I've chosen the simple password of 12345. And again, guys, this is my password. And when you install your Postgres application, okay, inside the installation process, you will be asked to provide one password, and this is actually very important. Okay, so once you do this, please don't forget it. Otherwise, you have trouble to get actually the connection to your database. So then I need to proceed and write down localhost, okay? And my port on my device is 5432. Again, when you have your installation process, you get information about your current port, okay? So these two numbers are important, the password and the localhost. And again, when you when you start installing your Postgres, you will see all this information here, okay? You can actually set up your password and you will get access all the information to your port. That's it. So next, we need to target our data frame. It's this one, okay? So df realtor. Next, we need to use the to_SQL function. This is actually almost the same we had here. Here we have worked with the to_Excel function, and now it's the to_SQL function, okay? First, in the first argument, we need to provide the table name, okay? Let's just say real_estate_results, okay? This is our table name. This is the first one. And then the second argument is the engine variable, which we have created here. Okay, again, we have this data frame, realtor. This one, here we use the to_SQL function, provide the name of our table, okay, and here we provide this variable here. That's it. Let's run this cell. No error message, this is fine. Now let's open up the Postgres, and again, take a look right now inside this tables here. Right click, refresh, and voila, here we have the real estate results. Okay, let's open it up. Here we have the information about the columns. Okay, we start with the index, and then we have all our 7 data points. Okay, so now let me go ahead and use the query tool. Okay, and actually the only statement I want to print out is the overview about our data. Okay, so let's say select star from real_estate_results. Okay, so make sure you have spelled everything correctly. Then let's run it, and voila, here you see that we have actually printed out our data inside this Postgres database. Okay, now we actually also have this index. You can actually cut it off, remove it, but for now it's not necessary. I actually want to show you that we have different possibilities. We can output everything inside Excel, CSV, and for example the Postgres database. Okay, so this is it, and this was just a very simple SQL command in order to print out every results which are stored inside this table here. Okay, and actually you need to clean up your data a little bit. For example, here, if you want to target the price points, it's always better to have an integer. Now it's stored inside a text, and actually you need to convert this column here to an integer. And yeah, this is actually part of the data manipulation, data modifying process, maybe also data cleaning process, but for now this is not part of this tutorial. And once your data is actually modified, you can easily run your SQL commands on this one. Okay, then you can search, for example, for houses with at least 2 bathrooms or at least 2 bedrooms, and this should actually be cheaper than 500k, and so on and so forth. Okay, I would say, guys, this is it. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you very much for your time, for your patience, for your trust, for your attention. If you have any kind of questions, please let me know in the comment sections, and I try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to see you in one of the upcoming tutorials. Stay safe, see you soon, bye bye.